Hey, and thank you for clicking play. For the third week in a row, I'm sitting in front of the Commodore 64. I have changed to the LCD for the point of recording. I was grateful for the tip on videoing the CRT, reduce the brightness on the CRT itself. That really worked. That was fantastic. But as somebody else then pointed out, it does then, for the viewer, it distorts the color. So that's why I've gone to the LCD. So sorry if you're not a fan of seeing LCDs. It is simply so that you get a better view. In person, I have been using the CRT myself. Why am I in front of this for a third week in a row? Well, because I've had yet another enjoyable discussion in the comments with viewer called HerDarkShadow, aka Lisa, I believe. So thank you just so much for watching, but also for your interaction in the comments, because I really do. That's what I like, the discussion. I don't want you to just passively listen to me. I actually like the discussion. The more comments I get, the harder it is to keep up with them, obviously, the more people that are watching, but I'll do my best to, at least have a quick chat with quite a few people. So HerDarkShadow, on the video where I showed that I'd won this Commodore 64, she gave me her thoughts on the Commodore 64, and one of the things she said was she's still kind of, and I like her use of wording here, okay, still kind of prefer Lotus and Speedball 2 on the 64 to this day. Memories of early hours game sessions at university make them immortal. Very good choice of words there, Lisa, because the word prefer, some people are trying to tell me, oh, this game is better on the C64 than the Amiga. Some people have even said that when they're talking about certain games. I'm not gonna poke fun at anybody. Maybe they're trying to troll me a little bit, but I look at the games and I go, they're not better. But this is the correct wording. Prefer. And why does she prefer these games on the C64? Because of the memories attached to them. And that makes perfect sense. And the more I discover about the Commodore 64, I will find things that are better about it than the Spectrum. Of course, that will happen, and I'm well aware of that. Iridium, as you would have seen last week, is a prime example. But what will my preference remain? It depends what games I have nostalgia directly attached to those systems, attached to the memories. That's why I'm in the hobby. So, and then in a later video, Lisa reminded me that of her like for Speedball 2 and Lotus on the C64. And I thought, what a great video, just to share what I think, because I love both of those games on the Amiga. Only ever played them on the Amiga. How do they compare? I'm not going to do a side-by-side comparison. OG Duffy, I'll link to his channel. He does great comparisons for well-known games across multiple systems. Fantastic. So why am I going to reinvent the wheel? I'm not. But I'll happily take a look at those games. Somebody said they prefer them. Reasons are attached mainly to nostalgia. How do they play on an 8-bit system with only 64K of RAM? So let's have a look, and what we're going to do is, because Speedball 2 is a single load game, so I'll give you a bit of more of an in-depth look at this. So this is a TapeCart that has an Arduino board in it, and the games are loaded onto an SD card, so a modern solution for playing old C64 games if you don't have the originals. I mean, if you have the originals and you've backed them up. That's that. So that's mine. And then Shane has very kindly lent me this, which is a Pi 1541. So this uses a Pi 0, I believe. And it has a little LCD screen. There's the Pi on the back there. I don't know my Pis very well. I only had the Pi 400. But I think you can do it with a Pi 3 or something as well. But anyway, so you have the Pi. Obviously there's software preloaded. No idea how these things are set up because I didn't set this up. I'm being open and honest. Micro SD card is in there with everything loaded on it in there. And you've got an LCD screen and a set of buttons. You've got drive lights, and this also has a beeper here. So to mimic to a degree the drive read sounds, and that's very helpful to knowing whether or not the system's crashed, which I haven't had a crash yet. So we'll have a look at how you plug both these in and how you use them both, because I need to use this to use multi-load games that would have had multiple discs, or at least made you flip the side of the disc on the original Commodore 1541 drive. This essentially emulates, including the load times, the 1541 floppy drive. Okay, so with the system safely turned off, let's turn it around to look at the back. And the TapeCart, first of all, that just plugs into where the tape player would plug in, which is here. And you'll note there's no notch, so you just line it up basically, and it fits nice and easy into there. So, basically the way up it goes, because that's the only thing you could get round the wrong way, is the SD card should be facing up and the Arduino board should be on top. Because it would potentially go in the wrong way because of that lack of notch. Oh, I've just ejected the SD card. Easy peasy. Now, as for the 1541, the Pi 1541, so an emulated 1541, that goes nicely into the cartridge slot at the end here. Now, the cartridge slot we'll revisit again another day, not next week. It's not going to be that early, but that goes into the cartridge slot. And then this plugs into the 1541 socket, which is that one there. And we're ready to go. Okay, so with the machine on, I'm going to load the TapeCart menu, and I'm going to do that by hitting run stop, and I'll hit the stopwatch at the same time. And I'm going to hit space as soon as it says found browser. "11 seconds. So there we go, and we're into the menu. Fantastic. So what are we loading? Speedball 2. There's Speedball 2. Here we go. 40K. Absolutely love this game on the Amiga. So this is going to be interesting. First, genuine thoughts of Speedball 2 on the Amiga. Loaded already. TapeCart loads incredibly fast. It's a fast loader. We're not going to load a save game. We're going to do one player game. Do knockout. No music, no load music. Whether there was on the loader, I don't know. On the original, maybe. Right, we'll do all. This joystick is tetchy. So obviously less colours, lower resolution. But that's fine. Oh. And here we go. Did I foul him? Oh no! Ah! He buzzed it. Oh! Ah! Oh, come on! Okay, so straight away, look, I'm in the game, as I put it. I'm in the game. Damn you. I'm as bad at it as I am on the Amiga. Yeah, oh. Oh, come on. And look, the graphics. Look, what did I say? 43K or something like that? The graphics are fine. The gameplay is there. All the elements are there. And when you think about it, regardless of what team you're playing against, everything is down to just a set of variables. So once you've loaded the assets once, there's no real change to the assets. So that's why it's a single load game in less than 64K, because it doesn't need to be any bigger. And you've still got all the gameplay. I mean, this is just as playable as the Amiga version. Easily. So I can see why, if you had this as your first experience with Speedball 2, you know, big whoop, the Amiga version has got more colours and a higher resolution. It's a bit like me comparing Amiga games OCS to their AGA counterpart, and I go, big whoop, you've got more colours and a higher resolution. I'd argue it's a bigger lump from a bigger jump from C64 to Amiga, but still, what matters? Oh, we're going the other way, are we? What matters is gameplay. And I haven't scored a single goal, so the gameplay sucks. No, I mean, it's the same game. It's exactly the same game. This is enjoyable. If I never had access to Amiga and I'd played this... Oh, it's crashed. I really am having some issues with this C64 occasionally. Look at that. I've got a crash. That's interesting. Anyway, look, that's Speedball 2. I like it. I like it. That's absolutely fine. All right, let's have a look at Turbo 2. I don't know if it's the C64 that's the issue or if it's the TapeCart that's the issue. I don't know. But anyway, Commodore Commando crashed last week. Speedball 2's crashed this week, and I've played it before without a crash, so don't know. Okay, so let's look at Lotus Turbo Challenge. One of my all-time favourite games. I played the original on the Amiga, played it to completion on hard in manual gears, got the special code so that I could send off for my Lotus license, which I originally did. Even though most people prefer Lotus 2, Lotus 2 was a walk in the park compared to Lotus 1 in terms of completing the game. Right, so what we need to do is I need to load the correct disk image on the Pi 1541. And that disk is now loaded into the virtual 1541. Then I can't do shift run stop because that would look for the tape cart. What I have to do is I have to type load, quote, as if I was loading from a disk, sorry, that one, asterisk, quote, comma 8, comma 1. My goodness, you C64 guys really had fun, didn't you? Hit return. And that's loading from the Lotus Esprit first disk image, first disk, first side. And there's a read light so that you can tell what's going on and you can hear those load noises. Intro music, just like the Amiga version. Not just like the Amiga version, we're talking Sid versus Paula here. But that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And you've got the opening animation. The lights didn't pop up though. But you've got the opening images. There we go. Not bad at all. Right. Loading more from disk. Now these are real load times. This is, I'm led to believe, the same time it would take to load from the real disk. I loaded I loaded Outrun Turbo yesterday and it took forever. Right, I'm gonna go, I'm sorry, but I am gonna go computerized gears. I'm just lazy these days. Not in my real time, all my cars are manual, but yeah, games now I just go, yeah, whatever. Especially if it's not the best joystick. And always alternate controls, so fire is accelerate. One player is fine, fire to start. And again, you can choose sound effects, or you've got a couple of music. Not bad at all. I'm going to go sound effects because I like to hear my engine, even when I'm playing automatic gears. Here we go. Now I did test this last night. This isn't my first experience of this on the C64. You suck. Not the game, that car. So I mean, look, simplified sprites at the side of the road. Yeah, that's fair enough. Less of them, but less is more. Does it give the game a feeling of speed? Yes, it does. You've still got the pit lane there. I was accidentally leading back, but this joystick is very tetchy. It likes to think you're braking when you're not. Now once again, I'm in the game, you know. No, visually or in terms of audio, it does not even begin to compare with the Amiga version. Of course it doesn't. Not even close. Speedball 2 was a lot closer. But you know, the main things are there. You've got the Lotus here. You've got the main sprite is fine. These are blue rather than white, but that's fine. But again, the gameplay is there. Gameplay's there absolutely fine. You got your pits there if you need. I don't need to refuel on this race. I'm doing terrible though. I'm in 12th. Get out of the way. 13th, 14th. I'm doing so bad. Do a lot better on the Amiga version, I'll tell you that. I did get onto the second level last night. So yeah, look, I like it. Look, it was fun. Thanks, Lisa, for making me aware of these two. It was fun having a good, hard look at two of the games that I loved on the Amiga and what they look like on the Commodore 64. And I'm so pleased that you have fond memories attached to both of these on the C64, because at the end of the day, why are we messing about with old kit if it's not about that? All right, thanks for watching.